Hey, what's up, everybody? Demian Maia is going to fight Carlos-Condit at UFC 202. It looks to be like a really good, exciting fight. I think Demian Maia, the way he's going to play is probably take Carlos-Condit down if he can, and it's going to be a ground fight. And to be honest, that is not the most exciting fight that you can possibly see in the UFC. Carlos-Condit is decent on the ground, and he's very, very good on the stand-up. So hopefully we can see Demian Maia stand up with Carlos-Condit and see Carlos-Condit win, because I think that dude deserves a title fight and deserves just to be a #1 contender. But I just gotta give you guys the information that Demian Maia will be fighting Carlos-Condit. Carlos-Condit, like I said, is decent on the ground, not at the level of Demian Maia, but Demian Maia just has sick-ass jiu-jitsu and is known for taking people out of their element and just basically jiu-jitsuing the hell out of them. He did that to his last opponent, he did that to Gunnar Nelson, he did that to John Fitch, and he destroyed every single one of them by just grounding and not grounding and pounding, just jiu-jitsuing them. And sometimes that can be a little bit boring and not as exciting as you would hope for. So my opinion on this fight, if Carlos gets taken down, the fight's going to be a long night for Carlos. But if Carlos can stand and bang, then it's going to be a long night for Demian Maia. But at the end of the day, I hope it's a great fight. Hope it's a back and forth fight. Because if it's just a ground fight, that is not necessarily the most exciting fight, especially just for fans. Because a lot of fans aren't just a fan of jiu-jitsu, they're fans of the stand-up game. And Carlos-Condit brings it every time it comes forward. So, as always, I would pick Carlos-Condit to win if it's standing up. Alright, guys, bye-bye. Can you guys believe this, that Anderson Silva is saying that he wants a rematch with Michael Bisping, but Michael Bisping's scared because he's calling him out, and he's saying, he's scared because he doesn't want the rematch, and he's turning down the fight. The dude beat you. How much more can he be scared of? He's the champion now, and he wants to go on and fight better fighters. Anderson Silva is not the guy that he once was back in 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011. He's not that guy anymore. He's a totally different dude. And he wants to fight Dan Henderson to get his rematch. And I could believe he wants that fight. So we'll definitely have to see what happens if he gets a rematch with Dan Henderson, or he fights like Jacare or somebody like that who's a beast at the 185-pound division. And then you got Mickey Gall at UFC 202, I think it is going to be fighting CM Punk finally. I don't really see anything that is going to blow my mind with CM Punk. You have a guy who has one win in his UFC career, but he is a trained fighter. He might not be the greatest fighter of all time, but the reason why he called out CM Punk is because it gave him a draw, gave him somebody that the UFC is going to be like, well, you need an opponent, and it's going to give him a name if you beat CM Punk. I don't think CM Punk is going to win this fight, but that is my opinion. And apparently Dana White says it's going to be a long night for Brock Lesnar if he cannot take down Mark Hunt. He's going to be able to get knocked out and beat pretty quickly, pretty much is what he's saying. And I agree with Dana White. If it's not taken to the ground very significantly, very fast, how is Brock going to stand and bang with somebody like Alice, with like an Alice Overeem type guy, or a Mark Hunt? There's no way.
There's no doubt. If Brock doesn't get this thing to the ground,
it's a problem.
He's in for a bad night. You thought Alistair Overeem was a problem. You know what I mean? With the kicks to the body and stuff. You know, Mark Hunt knocks guys out that have never been knocked out. Yeah. You know, he goes in there and knocks out Roy Nelson.
Yeah, I was about to
with
say.
One of those one-shot walk-away punches. Nobody does that to Roy Nelson.
He couldn't stand and bang with Alice Overeem. He couldn't stand and bang with Shane Carwin, let alone a guy who can brutally knock you out like Mark Hunt. And Mark Hunt is significantly a smaller guy at 5'10", 5'11", and Brock's 6'5", 265. And my opinion is, if he can't take it to the ground, he's going to get knocked out or he's going to lose the fight because he's going to turtle up. There's no way he could get his striking could get significantly better from the time we've seen him. If he's been doing wrestling, like professional wrestling, there's no way he's been training full time to get better as an MMA fighter. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't, but I don't believe he was scared to take a punch when he was in the UFC back in 2008, 2009, 2010. What's going to be the difference when some guy like Mark Hunt comes up and goes, "Hey, Brock," it's going to be lights out, baby. He's knocked out Frank Mir. He's knocked out Roy Nelson. He's knocked out a lot of guys. It's one punch, brutal knockout, and he walks out. And people are like, damn, that fool's a beast. So as always, what do you guys think of what Dana White has actually said about Brock Lesnar? Do you agree, not agree, or do you guys just think, well, Brock Lesnar's just going to whoop him anyway? As always, smash that like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm Trevor, and I'll see you guys in the next video, baby.